Bam. I'm back. Just gonna connect these videos. Let's go. I'm gonna keep going. Let's see what happens with YHC here. So again, just to recap, um, I missed that first pullback, but this was such a nice visual price action that I thought that it was worth a trade. Um, I took a small cut, trying to get this pullback right here. Tried to reverse, didn't work. I took another try off of this nice double bottom right here. Um, First target was, kind of breaking this red line right here, that first 5-minute candle to make a new high. Here we go. Next 5-minute candle is opening. It is a little close. I know it's only 5 cents of profit right there, but I think I took some off the table, man. Yeah, so right here, I think I took half off my trade. Just to manage my risk because I ended up being break even on the name after being red on it. Um, and yeah, this is always like my first target to take some off the table once we start breaking that first 5-minute candle to make a new high. I think I gave it a second here. Yeah, see, we were getting a push coming up to new highs. It was a good place to take half off. I took half off right there. A good decision in my opinion. Um, and then I kind of moved my stop up. I didn't really want to see this candle turn red. If this candle turned red, I would end up just getting out. But you can see, look at this. This was beautiful price action, man. It put in a nice, beautiful, picture perfect 2 red candle pullback. And then this candle, we want to see it start ripping. But look at this. The volume came in. Increase in volume. That's important. You always want to see that as we're breaking through the trend line right here. Kind of breaking out of the flag right here. Sharp increase in volume. That's good to see. That definitely gave me some more conviction. Now look at that. We ended up breaking out. I think took some more off the table once we were testing highs. And look, I even got a nice little push right here. Just took it all off. Yeah, I ended up being green on that name after missing the first pullback and then taking a little loss on this one. So next time I definitely want to see what I can do and how I can be more present to stab this. But I mean, this was valid. And I'm glad I took it. That was pretty much, I think that was the best trade of the day. Yeah, it was. And that was it for pre-market. And then we went into open. Let's go ahead and open the open video. So PALI, this one, I think it had news. It started moving close to open in pre-market. Made a nice push right here. Gave a nice first pullback. Nice 1-minute pullback. And then ended up ripping into the open. As you can see, it kind of just was an up-only move. And I was ready to give it a shot. See if we can get a nice deep pullback to the 5-minute 8. And then a reversal for new highs. As you can see, we're pulling back on the 1 minute here on the 5. I really wanted to wait for this to test the 5-minute 8 and then look for an entry. But then we had IMG that was ripping, penny stock. That definitely took a little bit of conviction away from PALI for me, but again, man, I'm not always looking. You're not always looking for home runs, man. I'm looking for this thing to put in a low, reverse, give me some targets, and maybe I just get the fuck out. We don't always need to see rip for new highs. We just need like a good risk to reward opportunity. And I think that this was worth it. And I think it had the potential, especially with the volume, this being like the first proper pullback on the 5-minute. As you can see right here. So it's kind of like a 1-minute pullback. We started to make a nice deep pullback. I was looking for like a nice low risk entry here. And I was being patient too. I was trying to wait for this 5-minute candle to see, because we're still pulling back here. I really wanted to try to get as close as I could to the next 5-minute candle, which I did pretty good at waiting. Okay, so this is a perfect example right here. It just put in a nice big deep pullback, We tested the 5-minute 8 already. We're kind of putting in a wick here, and it looks like we're starting to curl on a 1-minute. So let me sneeze. So there's my potential risk off, the low of this wick right here. And then as we start as this 5-minute candle's closing and the next one opens, I want to kind of time my entry because this already made the pullback and made a little bounce. So it kind of just gets me closer to the apex point, if you will. See, I'm getting ready right here because that candle's about to open. The next 5-minute candle's about to open, and as you can see, we're starting to make a new 1-minute high right here. Keeping my trades consistent. I was actually waiting right here. I was trying to see, are we actually gonna start to push a little bit, or is this gonna continue to pull back? Let's see. It looked good. We're about to make a new 1-minute candle to make a new high. I went ahead and anticipated just a tiny bit there and got my entry. I want to see this green candle start pushing, and then I can look for my first target. It's going to be first 5-minute candle to make a new high, which is the high of this red candle right here. I'm pretty sure I'll mark the line. Still kind of waiting right here. I want to see this candle start pushing. But I did go ahead and take an entry. Here we go. Looks like we're starting to make a push. Yep, that's my first target. A pretty good target. About 20 cents. I'm only risking 10, so that's already a 2-to-1. Even if we get that first target, that's only my first target. You know, again, I'm not looking for nothing crazy, man. Just looking for a nice bounce. See if we can get that push through this 5-minute candle to make a new high. And if we're getting nutty, then we'll make new highs. If not, I'm just gonna get out. But you can see this is, you know, it was a well-timed entry. We already pulled back on the 5. The next 5-minute candle is a push candle. 1-minute candle to make a new high, and there's a clear risk. So, you know, this is a valid trade to me. Valid trade. See what happens. Ultimately, guys, I stopped right out. I set a stop right there. No manual shit. I put a hard stop. Discipline. I got stopped out. That was it on that. Not a problem. Because IMG was the obvious one right here. As you can see, this one was pulling back into the open. Made a huge move. Huge move on the 5-minute here, and this is the one that I started to focus on. Again, same thing. Just made a fresh 5-minute move. Looking for that very first 5-minute pullback to curl and make a new high. And I was also waiting for the 5-minute. I wanted to see this come down, test the 5-minute. Also on this one, we have a pre-market high pivot. Pre-market high pivot. That would be some good confluence. It looked like it kind of wanted to push here. I was like, if it goes without me, it's going to go without me. But I was patient. You can see that 5-minute candle looks like it's wanting to turn red and continue to pull back, which was good for me because that's what I wanted to see. But you see this is nice ramping volume on the 5-minute. The pullback has decreasing volume, which is good. Look at this. We're putting in a nice dip right here, and I'm waiting because I want to see it come down, test the 5-minute 8 like it's doing right here. Also, we're testing these pre-market high pivot areas that were resistance right here, now looking for it to turn into support. Very simple concept. So I was definitely looking for this to like be my risk off, something in this area. Let's see, I'm still waiting. I'm being patient because I have not had confirmation yet. Also note again, that 5-minute candle is going to close soon. Again, I'm trying to get as best timing as I can. I don't want to jump on an entry while we're still pulling back here because this candle can continue to pull back. But as you see, once I seen that it started making a nice reversal right here and it started to create that bottom wick off the 5-minute 8, I think I decided to go ahead and take my entry. Yep, that 5-minute candle is about to close. Looks like a nice bounce off that level. It was a nice deep pullback, you know, not like a little lower of a pullback and then a rip. This was a nice deep pullback. Look at that. It even wanted to look like it wanted to. I think I Like I was fucking making. I couldn't type this shit out. I think I ended up making a mistake here. I was so close to getting stopped out on this thing. It was really whippy. I didn't have a I didn't have a stop here at first, and I should have. Because if that broke right there and it really broke, I probably would have broke my max loss per trade. So I need to be a little quicker to set a stop on that. Oh yeah, so I did try to set a stop here, but I accidentally made it as a limit order and it ended up freaking cutting my trade. But I got right back in because I was still right where my entry was. So I went ahead and got right back in. No problem. Keeping myself composed. The other trade was break even, so made sure I got my stop in right here. Again, got to have the discipline, and it's a tight stop. You know, it's a little 2 cent per share stop, but I put it there. I don't really want to see it break that low. I want to see this move. I want to see this curl and come test my targets. I don't want to see it break this low. I mean, it might come down, test it, fake some, and take some stops out, and then go. But that's just the nature of the game. I went ahead, had the discipline to manage my emotions, and I put my hard stop on there. I don't have stops in pre-market, so, when I can set some hard stops in open market, I take advantage of that to make sure that I'm protecting myself and keeping myself accountable. And look at this. We're getting a nice reversal. Nice push candle right here. That's what we like to see. Guys, if you can notice, I'm doing the same thing on different stocks. I'm trading it the same way. Mostly. It's just in a more consistent way. This is how I'm going to get my consistent results. Okay? I'm looking for the same things on these trades, and I'm trading them in the most consistent way from the last trade as possible. But again, I'm keeping an open mindset that this is a brand new trade. So even though the last one was a loser, this one could be a winner. If it's not a fucking winner, it's not a winner. But I know that this is my strategy, and this is how I'm going to build the consistency in these trades. I do have only 3 more minutes on this one, but yeah, we got that stop right there. I'm going to kind of fast forward a little bit. Look at this. This is a nice trade. I was only looking for really this first target of 62. That's 10 cents a share. About 8. About 8 cents a share. And I had some size on this one. I had 1,000 shares. Risking about $20. I'm within my max loss of $30 per trade. So if anything, I could have taken a little bit more size, but, I kept it a little smaller today just to get my confidence back. I was being patient. I didn't take profits yet. I really wanted to see it come up and test this new 5-minute this first 5-minute candle to make a new high. I thought I was gonna get stopped out here. We had a lot of walls on if you're looking at the level 2 here, they were putting up a lot of walls, breaking it. They just broke through them right here. You can see tons of green coming in on the tape right here. So I was like, oh, I thought this was gonna go right here. Just being patient. I really wanted to see a nice move out of this. I was perfect. I was accepting my risk. I accepted the risk on this trade. Fast forward a little bit. Okay, so that was that 5-minute candle. Now we're opening a new 5-minute candle. I definitely want to see this one start to push. But now the first 5-minute candle to make a new high is all the way down here, which definitely adjusted where I wanted to take some off the table. I was like, you know what, I'd be fine taking a little bit off the table here, even though it's a little bit of a tighter, it's closer to my entry. But look right here. I thought I was going to get stopped out right here. You seen that big wall come too? We had a big wall just flash. I don't know if you guys see this. Boom, look at this fat ass wall that just popped up right here at 54. I kind of seen that out of the corner of my eye. It's gone now. People are starting to sell. Lots of selling coming in. It kind of was holding that level. Just seemed to be like some walls here. Look at that. Oh, it came right down to that area. I thought it was going to come get me. But it instantly just swiped. It swiped right back up. I was like, okay. I was like, all right. I definitely wanted to see this hold now. Once I got some conviction, once I seen that thing swipe. Oh, yeah. Right there. I took some off the table right there. I mean, come on. I'm up almost 50 bucks on that trade. That's fine. You got to take the profits, man. That's a nice, good push. I took half off the table, managing my risk.